All right, this is Boxing with the Truth, and I am the Truth. It's June 6, 2015, and today we are with heavyweight boxer Eric Molina. How you doing today, Eric?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Well, I understand you have a huge fight coming up, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. I just want to go over a few facts for the fans. Your record is 23 wins, 17 knockouts, and 2 losses, correct?
Correct.
And you're age 33 right now?
Yes, sir.
And I just want to go over a few of your accomplishments in your career. You actually started by winning the USA Texas State Cruiserweight title. You've had the WBC Latin Cruiserweight title, the WBC USNBC Heavyweight title, and the NABF Heavyweight title, correct?
Correct.
And hopefully next week you'll have a WBC World Heavyweight title.
That's right.
So, real quick, I just want to ask you, your nickname is Drummer Boy. Where did that come from?
Yeah, it was given to me because they said when I would hit the heavy bag that it would sound like a big old bass drum. So they ended up calling me Drummer Boy.
Okay. No, I was just curious. That's kind of an interesting nickname, so I was wondering where that came from. Okay, now, right now, the WBC has you ranked number 9th. And I want to talk about the fight coming up. If the boxing fans aren't aware, you're actually about to face Deontay Wilder, who is 33-0 with 32 knockouts. He is now the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. He just recently in January won the belt from Stavern, Berman Stavern. And I believe you were actually on the undercard of that fight, correct?
Yes, I fought on the undercard. I was somewhere towards the middle there, and I fought it was an 8-round fight against Zumbano Love. Yeah.
Okay, so now recently, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've heard a lot of information about this fight, and sometimes a lot of the critics talk, and some of the information is correct, and some of it isn't. Now, initially, he reached out to a few other fighters before you that either didn't want to take the money or thought it wasn't enough money or was too scared to fight him. But he says, he basically admires you because you stepped up and were willing to take the fight. Is that true?
Well, you know what? I don't know the business aspect of what they did before they called me. Not too familiar with that. I just know the logistics of what happened when it was offered to me, and actually, when it was offered to me, it was in my eyes, my view, it was something that had to happen. I mean, I don't believe any fighter is in a position to ever turn down their world title shot. So we were able to go ahead and close the deal on fights in Alabama.
So I know I've talked to you before, and a lot of people give you a lot of, I guess criticism over the Chris Arreola fight. You went down in the first round. You had him hurt. I've seen the fight myself. I mean, but you've said that a lot of things have changed since that fight. So what has changed to improve you as a fighter since that fight?
Well, a lot of people don't realize that I've been boxing 9 years. That's it. I started boxing when I was 23, almost 24 years old. I just decided to hit a bag and go for it, pretty much in a nutshell. So I didn't know nothing about boxing. I didn't know anything about it. Never watched it. Never did anything. But it really started when I was 23 years old. But I had to learn on the job as I go. With only 4 amateur fights, I was put in a position to where I had to. And I fought most of my career at cruiserweight. So, I personally blame it on the fact of my inexperience. As many fights I go in, not as confident as I should, and I feel that when that time with Don King, the first thing he said was, "Hey, we're going to make you into a heavyweight." So there was no more cruiserweight run for me with moving into heavyweight, and going into the heavyweight and questioning myself as an inexperienced cruiserweight and going into heavyweight rankings was very difficult. So, you know, within a year of signing with Don, there he puts me with the number one contender in the world. You know, I have no excuses for that. Arreola did beat me, but it was a fight that I was very inexperienced. My mental state, I wasn't at the right place. There was many things going on with my life at that time, and it's just inexperience in general as a fighter. I didn't have the confidence going into that fight. The difference now is that I'm a very confident heavyweight. I've fully grown into my heavyweight frame. I'm 245 pounds compared to 220 back then. I'm faster, I'm stronger, more experienced, more confident. And at the end of the day, I've hurt so many fighters. I've hurt so many fighters in training and even in heavyweight, in professional fights without confidence. Thinking, hey, I got to go in there and just try my best and see how it goes. And fights that I went in thinking I wouldn't hurt the guy, I still ended up hurting them. So, you know, I've definitely evolved into a very, very confident, hard-punching heavyweight. And I think this is my first fight in my whole career where I am not doubting the power that I have. I have a lot of power, and I know that I could hurt any human being with the punching power that I have.
Okay, let's talk about that power. I mean, your big weapon is your right hand. Everybody's aware of that. But Deontay has also got power, but how do you get past his jab to get in there? I mean,
you have to. Deontay, he does have a long jab, but he doesn't have a great jab. He doesn't have a great jab. I think that I've done a lot of work with Stavern before, and I think one of the weakest things that Stavern does is he cannot break distance. He couldn't break distance against me in sparring. So Stavern is a very, very strong man, and he's not somebody you want to go toe-to-toe with. But some of his weaknesses is he can't break distance very well, and he's always been that fighter in his boxing career. He struggles with breaking distance. So I don't give Wilder credit for a good jab. I don't believe he has a good jab. I think that he has the idea of boxing from the outside, and he got a decent jab, but I wouldn't call it a great jab. You know, I think the biggest thing is when the fighters that he has fought, they go in there with number one thinking, I just don't want to get hurt. You know, and I don't think they go in there with the intention of really hurting him.
okay. So now let me ask you this. Obviously, the fight is in his backyard in Alabama. So do you believe that you could actually win a decision in his backyard, or do you have to knock him out?
Absolutely not. I don't think that there's any chance. I don't feel the fight's going 12 rounds. I don't think that even if it did, I have no chance to win a decision either way. But I mean, with the type of punchers that we both are, a lot of people don't think that I can hurt this guy. And to me, I find that, you know, just because he did one fight with Stavern, who was dehydrated and really couldn't get to him, we're going to see on Saturday how well he could take a punch. Because I can hit, I can bring the power. And I've hurt many, I've been in 25 fights. And most of those fights I hurt the individual in front of me.
And I agree with you that you do have power, and I am kind of miffed that some of these critics really aren't giving you a chance, because this is the heavyweight division. People seem to forget that in the heavyweight division, one punch can change an entire fight. And I want to give you a perfect example of a guy that had no chance in a fight. If everybody remembers, Oliver McCall versus Lennox Lewis had no chance. Not even his own mother thought he could win that fight, and he knocked out Lennox Lewis. So how do you not have a chance against Deontay Wilder? That's what I want to know.
I mean, you know what, though, the funny thing is I've accepted the criticism that comes. I believe that a lot of the criticism comes because a lot of critics don't like Deontay Wilder. They don't like him. And at the end of the day, they want to see him fight Klitschko. They want to see him fight Tyson Fury. And if he says he wants to claim certain things here and there, or he wants to talk so much game, well, they want to see him fight the best. So I believe that as much as he thinks that a lot of people enjoy him and his presence, I don't believe that that's so. I believe that a lot of people really don't like him as a fighter. So I think that his moves that he makes gets criticized because of who he says he is. When it comes to that situation, I personally don't believe that, this individual says he's going to be the biggest thing in boxing. I personally don't think that's going to happen.
And that's what I mean. I mean, I read a statement that I couldn't believe from Boxing News. They stated, I think it'll be a moral victory for Molina if he escapes the first round against Deontay Wilder. I mean, you have power too. So, I mean, if you catch him with a clean shot, it could flip the whole fight around. I mean, you did it to Chris Arreola, and unfortunately you didn't close on that, but you did hurt him. So if you catch Deontay the same way, who knows what could happen?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not out to try and convince people that I can or can't do things. You know what I mean? I know in my heart what I bring to the table, and I'm not gonna go back and forth with the people that I've accepted that with the people in the world that they think that I'm gonna lose. That everybody picks me to lose. I'll tell you what. I mean, I've accepted the fact that the whole world believes that I'm going to lose, and that's okay with me. That's fine. I don't got to convince everybody else. I've used it to motivate myself, and there's no pressure on me. It's great for me because I embrace it. Because the whole world thinks I'm going to lose, and every boxing analyst thinks I'm going to lose, and I have no chance. Then he has to run over me. He's got to run over me. So, and if he runs over me, it's everything that he's supposed to do. So, I mean, I know how prepared I am, and I know what I could do. So, I don't. If I had to waste my time and go back and forth over and over to try and convince everybody that I can't hurt this guy, I don't got that time. I don't plan on doing that. But I am very, very strong and very, very dangerous opponent for Deontay Wilder.
Okay, and let's talk about that. What have you done different in your training for this fight? Because obviously this is the biggest fight of your career. I mean, this is for a world title shot, and some guys never even get a world title shot.
Exactly, and the bottom line is that Deontay Wilder is a very, very strong fighter. He's a strong, big puncher. But one thing that you cannot disagree with is he makes a lot of mistakes. He fights. He does have gaps in his game. Is identifying those gaps and trying to capitalize on those gaps. Like I said, I believe that many of the fighters that he fought went in there trying not to get hurt, number one, and then trying to fight, number two. And to me, I'm not going in there not trying to get hurt. I'm going in there to fight. I'm going in there to hurt him, number one. That's the only thing on my mind is trying to hurt this guy. So his power or what he can and can't do is right hand. I ain't even concerned. I've been hurt before. I've been down before. I've been out before. So he can't do nothing to me. I'm not scared of him doing anything to me that I haven't experienced before. I'm going in to hurt this guy, number one.
Okay, so let me change the topic real quick because, like you say, you're going in there to hurt him. But in your life, you actually do things outside of the boxing that have nothing to do with hurting people. It's actually helping people, and I want some of the boxing fans to know that. You actually teach kids with disabilities, right?
Yeah, I'm a 3-year high school teacher of working with kids with the special needs and disabilities. I've been doing that for 3 years. I've been in college for 9 years. All the years I've been boxing, I just started with my associates, my bachelor's, just got my master's. And my life's beautiful, John. I mean, I'm so blessed in the life that the fans, that people that I have down here, the support that I got down here. It's incredible. The memories of my boxing career. I mean, the ups, the downs, the struggles, finding a way. I want to remind the people out there. One thing is that I lost my first pro fight at 24 years old. Okay, after I lost my first pro fight. Do you realize how hard it is? Have you ever heard of anything? Losing your first fight and coming back and fighting for the heavyweight world title. That's unheard of. You know, if I sit back and think to myself that this is all luck, this is all a coincidence, then you know, I'm too smart of a person to believe that. I believe that there was a stronger force lining everything up for me with the people around me, my training team, my fans, my family, my coworkers, my professors, my anybody helping me along the way. So many people down here that have helped me get to this point. This is not about luck or things lining up. This is about God having His plan for me, and I believe that the plan does not involve me going down to Alabama and just getting stretched out. I don't believe that's a plan. My faith is so strong. I mean, you know boxing, and I mean, you can't call it luck. I mean, it's just something else.
So let me ask you something. Let's say June 13th, you knock Deontay Wilder out. What kind of doors does this open for you?
Well, obviously, you know, it makes me heavyweight world champion. And, you know, that's exactly what is going to knock out Deontay Wilder. That's going to happen. It's what I believe in my mind. It's what I believe every day when I train. It's what I've been training for. I'm not going in there trying to box this guy. I'm not trying to go around with this guy. I've trained to hurt this guy. And I know that I can hurt this guy. So I know the environment down in Alabama is going to be very hectic. I know it's going to be very uncomfortable. But hey, he's a champion. You want to go be the heavyweight world champion? You got to go through hell. You got to go to his backyard. You got to go through all his terms. And I've done all his terms. And I'm going through all his terms.
All right, well, one more time, I want to announce that for all the boxing fans. If they're not aware, on June 13th, a week from today, 9 p.m. Eastern, Deontay Wilder, 32 knockouts, 0 losses, will be facing Eric Molina, 23 wins, 17 knockouts, 2 losses for the WBC World Heavyweight title. Deontay's putting this title up on the line. You guys are not going to want to miss this. It is on Showtime. I will be watching it. I hope everybody else will be watching it because this is going to be a good fight. And I hear the undercard is going to be good fights as well. Anything else you'd like to say to your fans, Eric, or your supporters that have been with you through your career?
I just want to say thanks to everybody that has kept up with my career, kept up with me. Thanks to you, John, for always reaching out to me and trying to keep up with what's going on in my career. And we're ready to go. I'm ready to fly out on Tuesday, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right, and with that, the truth has spoken.